now. Good day again, everybody. I think it's been an hour since I uploaded the other video, or the second video on the Toyota Sienna. So this is pretty much the last video. I would think. I can't think of anything else I have to do. So final update on all the parts that were replaced. I had to put a new 140 amp fuse bus, I think it's called, fusible link in it. Mostly because the one that was in there was corroded bad enough. It was causing an issue with the ABS and stuff like that, and she'd had it to a garage and stuff like that. And finally, with all the issues we'd had with the van, I had enough. I took it upon myself to fix it myself. After putting all the parts in from Rock Auto, which total cost, all the parts, replacing everything, including the fuse bus, fusible link, 140 amp fusible link, I think it was. I think it was $300. But I bought that local, so that's irrelevant. So we'll just stick to the Rock Auto parts. So Rock Auto parts, I was $171 and then $50 for the mount and bolts, and I'll show them in a minute. If you remember the last video, it was the one that was getting scraped by the pulley from the water pump, the pulley shaft, and that was $55. If you're wondering where I keep looking, my daughter's playing out in the rain right now. So I'm just keeping an eye on her periodically, because I'm just sitting in the front of the garage by the door here, and I got the parts here on the floor, and I'm gonna start going through them and basically giving you a rundown of everything. But anyway, all told, with coolant, it was $260 just from Rock Auto. All the parts. That's what I replaced everything. Fixed the entire van for. We'll just call it even $300. Everything for the parts I got from the junkyard that I needed, which was the fuse bus, because that was $140 at the dealership. And I was not about to go purchase another one for any potential issue that might have been in the van, because whatever reason with the corrosion, it popped the fuse. A little bit of copper that connects the two connections, just like a basic fuse that you'd put in any vehicle. But this was like a big fuse box. Like it was big. It seemed grossly unnecessary, but you know, whatever. I'm not a car manufacturing engineer. I don't know what is required for that, so I don't know. But anyway. So let's say even $300. Parts from Rock Auto alone were only $220, all told, all together. So with that, we'll get on the parts. I want to show you the belt first. This is the timing belt that come out of it. Let's take a look at this. Look. Yeah, it's separated completely. Look. Separated completely. Low battery on my phone, and I apologize, but look, that was caused by the water pump. Look, this water pump, I'll set this on my leg, and you can see here. See, it's bad. It's bad. So that, anyway, that was an issue. So anyway, as far as the clearance issue, if you remember, with this here, this is the water pump cover. Also, the 4 bolts act as part of the water pump bolt pattern that seals it, as well as front mount. If you see this here, the upper engine mount attaches there and bolts in, and that was what was wrong with this one. It's the bolts were broken, so pulleys were getting bad. Like, that's not freely spinning. The ones from Rock Auto freely spin. It's just bad. Just bad. Tensioner looks good still. But I'm not about to clean it. Wasn't about to use it. Because my luck, I'd get everything together and that would fail in a month. So replace it all and just be done with it. Another idler pulley, also pretty much seized, which all probably when the water pump went and issues like that. The only good quality thing they had in OEM was a steel gasket with a ring, kind of like the GM style ones that go in the front water pump, front of the engine. So anyway, yeah, I'm sorry about the lack of quality with the video. It's hard sitting here going through the parts. I was just bringing everything down here and getting them out of the way. And I'm glad that's done with. I mean, as you can see, I have a massive garage. Just the 3 stories there. It's 3rd story. I'm on the 1st story. Don't mind all the kids' toys and stuff. And then there's a story below me as well that accesses with the bay in the back and stuff, which I don't use, but just because most people can't drive their car. I can drive my truck down there, but I got an '06 GMC that's got a 6.5-inch lift in it and 35, so I can get down there and I can get back out, but most people can't. So unless they have a truck as well. So anyway, we'll see you with the next project. I don't know when exactly that'll be. Hopefully I'll try and see if I can have another video on by the end of the week. It's Wednesday now, so Saturday I'll try and have another video on, even if it's going through the transmission of the 250F. The 06 YZ 250F, which they're a good bike. The 5-valve Genesis headed engines were bulletproof. Usually failure on those things are due to lack of maintenance. It always comes down to lack of maintenance with most of those 4-strokes. I had a CRF that I didn't have to touch. I rebuilt it and put new gaskets in it. Mine was an 11. I loved it. I traded it for the GMC. I fucking miss it, but I love the truck too, so it doesn't matter. But that was that thing was bulletproof. But I changed my oil religiously, right? Like, if it got 3 hours on it between oil changes, I would have been surprised. But I never allowed it to, because I'd rather pay more now, pay a little bit extra. It's a couple dollars for the extra higher quality oil. You're you know what I mean. You're going out, you're bagging on the bike hard sometimes. I mean, I'm getting old now. I wasn't bagging on it like I would have when I was younger, but I still, 4-strokes are so easy to ride. You just feel like you're flying all the time, but still, you're changing your oil, you're paying a little bit extra. I mean, that bike went through me. I was the only owner. It was a demo at the dealership here, and I bought it with only one ride on it, and I got it disgustingly cheap because of it. But anyway, and I bagged on that. I had that bike I got it in 2012, and it was an 11. And I did the suspension for my weight and stuff, because I'm not a small guy. Standard suspension just does not work for me. And went with all red plastic, Lucas Oil graphics and stuff, and put my race numbers on it. Just up until this year, I bought my license ever since I was a teenager for the CMRC, and now with Jetworks or whatever it is here now, I don't know, but I only bought last year's. I didn't bother buying this year's. I got no bike. I'm not going to run the CR500 on a track because it's an overglorified trail bike compared to modern bikes. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. That's exactly what it is. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I'll try and get the next video up, and get some good content in there for you. And until then, take care.